Hello, my name is Brandon Kessler, and I'm here today to talk specifically to students and parents about finances after college and my personal story on this subject. So I'd like to start my story out by telling you that I really enjoy kayaking. I tried it for the first time in 2008, and I've been a handful of times since then. I've kayaked on the Hiwazi River in Tennessee, in the Pacific Ocean in La Jolla, California. I even worked up enough courage to propose to my wife on a kayak in Lake Pleasant in Arizona, even though her father begged me to find a different way to do this so the ring wouldn't end up at the bottom of the lake. One thing to note in all these pictures, though, is I never owned the kayak. It was always borrowed or rented. A few years ago, I exited my undergraduate degree. I had my new big job, and I really wanted to go buy my first kayak. I did some research, and I picked out this kayak as the one that I wanted to buy. After adding up the cost for this kayak, the paddle, the life vest, the means to transport it, the total cost was going to be roughly $1,500. Before I went forward with this purchase, though, it hit me that it would be incredibly irresponsible to spend this kind of money when I was $105,652 in student loan debt. That's right. $105,652 is what my undergraduate degree cost me. It wasn't all from tuition debt, though. $25,000 of it was from me giving in to that temptation to take the extra money the government will send you in a refund check once your tuition's paid for each semester. It seemed like a great idea at the time. I remember my wife and I being absolutely beside ourselves whenever this mountain of debt was really standing in the way of us starting out our life together as professionals outside of college. Emotionally, this was a lot to take in for a newly married couple with barely any money in the bank. We both stared at this figure, and we did the calculation that nearly $600 of interest would be accruing per month on this, and we both said absolutely not. We decided right there that we weren't going to let this burden affect us for the next 20 years of our life. And we both decided that we were going to be different. And this certainly meant no kayak for me. We immediately put a plan together to get rid of this debt as soon as possible. Students are allowed a 6-month grace period after leaving college before student loans must start being paid back. So our plan involved to save as much money as we possibly could during that 6-month time period, because we knew that if we were ever going to have an opportunity to save up a decent savings account, this was going to be the time. Once the loans started being paid back, our plan was to maintain that level of savings and put the rest of our money towards the debt. And during that 6-month grace period, we managed to save $30,000. And we were so proud of that amount based on the salaries that we made at the time. That money allowed us to relocate to Vancouver to put a down payment on a very affordable home and begin our student loan repayment journey with about $22,000 in the bank. We started out our monthly payments with an incredibly easy $2,300 per month, with minimum payments going towards the loans actually in my name, and the majority of that payment going towards my mom's $28,000 Parent Plus loan that she had to take out for me, because I wanted her to be out of debt first. I will say, even though you're paying a high payment like this, it didn't really seem to make the overall principal balance drop very fast. And that was so discouraging because we were working really hard and paying so much. We stayed consistent in these payments, though, and then one day my boss gave me a $10,000 raise. So we decided to increase our payments to $3,400 per month. Because remember, I didn't really need any more money personally. We were still maintaining around a $20,000 bank account just like we had planned, so there was no reason that we couldn't put any extra money made towards the loans. The next year, my boss gave me another $8,000 raise, so we decided to increase our payments to $4,200 per month. We were really starting to fly through this debt much faster than I ever imagined. Even though it was so painful to watch this money leave our bank account month after month, I remember a specific moment halfway through this journey when my wife and I felt the desire to sell our very affordable home in Vancouver and buy a much more expensive home in Portland. We managed to save up another down payment outside of our normal savings. And one night we decided that it would be incredibly wrong to do that when we still had so much debt left to pay off. So that very night, we took that whole down payment and just put it towards the loans. And we did that to, prevent ourselves from making an unnecessary purchase. We'll both testify to you that experiences like that will benefit us the rest of our life. This journey has taught us to live well under our means. It's taught us to be diligent, responsible, and committed to our finances and goals. It's taught us to be different. I want to be a leader in my life by sharing my story to many with hopes that others' lives can be transformed. I want to bring awareness to prospecting college students so that, and I also want to bring awareness to parents so that they truly understand what it means to put their name down on a Parent Plus loan for their child. Parents, did you even know that you are responsible legally to pay back those Parent Plus loans, not the child? And if you're not looking at the return on investment with your child and expecting them to start paying that loan back when they graduate, it's a mistake. And it can put a real burden in your relationship when your credit's attached to a very expensive loan and your new college graduate can't afford the monthly payment. But most importantly, I want to bring hope and awareness and inspiration to the current students and parents that are living with this right now. All in all, my wife and I were able to pay off my $105,652 of student loan debt in 3 years and 3 months. And I'm incredibly proud to say that the same month we paid off those loans, I got myself that first kayak. Thank you. Well, I might need your excellent Excel skills to figure this one out. The majority of it was honestly at a 6.8% interest. Yeah. Some of them are different because they're unsubsidized loans, but yeah, I'd say the majority of it was that.
Did you and your wife feel like you're debt-free?
We did, yes. Party. Yes. Sorry, did anybody else have any other questions? It is. I am also proud to say I'm leaving this MBA with no debt either.
Is that car paid for?
Company car.